Hi everyone, welcome to the episode 2 of the distributed systems. Today we are going to talk about the fault tolerance. And the first, let's start with the types of the failures that we have in distributed systems. There are, in general, we distinguish two types of the failures in the distributed systems. The first one is the crash failure. It's basically a fail stop. What it means is it's when the node crashes, right? It's the easy case. It's easy to detect and easy to resolve them. But another one is a Byzantine failure or arbitrary behavior. So what it means means that the nodes start to send the inconsistent data. So for example, it may send conflicting information to one node and two different nodes, right? So it may send one data to one node and it may send another data to another node, and so it's hard to detect those kind of behavior. But we need to somehow resolve that, and for that we are using a consensus algorithms. The first one is that largely used. It's called the practical Byzantine fault tolerance. What we do there, right? So what we do is node exchange the multiple round of messages to agree on the single value if some are malicious. And the next one is that the Byzantine fault tolerance algorithms. So in the Byzantine fault tolerance algorithms, we ensure that the system can continue operating correctly as long as fewer than the 1/3 of the nodes are Byzantine. So where we are using consensus in Byzantine failure, we are using mainly in the critical systems and, for example, in blockchains. In blockchains, Bitcoin and the similar distributed ledgers tolerate malicious or faulty nodes through the consensus. So we are using the proof of work, proof of stake, or the practical Byzantine fault tolerance. Now let's go to take a look at what are the fault tolerance mechanisms in the fault tolerance mechanisms in a distributed system. The first one is replication. In replication, as the name suggests, for each service and the data, we are creating a multiple replicas of it. So for example, let's say that we have one service, and for that service, we have created 3 replicas of it. So our service, if that's one of the nodes are crashing, then it can survive the disk failure or similar kind of failure. And another one is that in a replication, right? So which approaches are we using? We are using a leader and the follower. So what it means is one of the nodes are selected as a leader and the rest of the nodes are follower. So usually when we write the data, we are writing to the leader and it's replicated in the followers. And not to overload the leader, we are reading the data from the follower nodes, or we are using a multi-leader approach. So core trade-off in the replication is consistency against availability, or Cobb theorem. So how exactly we are, so what is important for our system, consistency or the availability? So we are choosing that using a usual Cobb theorem. I have a separate video where in detail I explain that what is a Cobb theorem. If you don't know that, please check it first to fully understand the replication. So the next one is the retries and the heartbeats. What it means is that the one node, in order to check that if our node is still active, we are sending a ping to a node to check the liveliness, right? So we are sending that not with the consistent, let's say that every second or every 2 seconds or every 100 millisecond, we are usually send that with the backoff. And so with the backoff and jitter, so we are checking the liveliness of the node. And what it prevents? It prevents some temporary glitches in the node. So for example, let's say that the node has not responded, node is not working for some time, let's say for 5 or 10 seconds, then if we are sending a heartbeat, and we are usually sending that every 10 seconds or every 20 seconds, then eventually if the node starts to work, we don't have to take any steps in order to bring back that node, because that was a temporary glitch and the node starts to work write back again. So the next one is that the checkpointing and recovery. So what it means is we are saving the state of our machine, state of our node, and if there is any crash, then we are restoring from the right from the point where when the node crashed. So on the when let's say that the node is working and periodically we are saving the state of the node, and after the crash we are starting to we are replaying from the last checkpoint. And the improved version of the checkpointing is the write ahead log. So what it means is write ahead log when we are before doing the operation, first to write the intent to the log, then we apply changes in the memory, and we periodically save the checkpoints, and on the restart we are replaying from the checkpoint. So for example, what it means that let's say that we want to increment counter by 1. First, instead of performing that operation, first we are logging that, right? So that's why it's called write ahead log. So first we are writing that, logging that ahead, then we are performing the operation, and then we are writing we are incrementing the second time, and again we are logging, and then we are incrementing, and then we are saving the checkpoint. If something is crashing, then what happens is that we are going to replay the same we will replay that using the checkpoint and using the write ahead log, so it's more consistent. And the last one is that the replication for the fault tolerance. So replication for the fault tolerance, we are using the replication for fault tolerance in a way that we are using one leader, and in this case, right, multiple followers. So what happens is that if the leader node crashes, then we are choosing from the followers, we are choosing the leader node using a quorum. But what are the trade-offs in this case, right? We may have the synchronous. We may have a synchronous selection. In the synchronous, there is a strong consistency, but it's slower. But in case of the asynchronous, it's a high performance, but it's eventual. So what are the real world case studies, right, for fault tolerance that we have discussed? So for example, in Kafka uses leader and follower replication, and for the durability it uses the write ahead log. And in the HDFS we are using the name node checkpoint plus journaling and the data node replication. And for the Kubernetes, for the API servers, they are replicated, and for the database, which is etcd, we are using a Raft consensus. And for the Cassandra, for example, we are using a multi-leader replication and the tunable consistency.